Alright, so in this section we're going to build a navbar. So if we go to CSS, components, and we click on navbar, we can see we have an example here. Okay, so this is all the code for that. Our navbar is going to be pretty similar. We're going to have some links to drop down. We're going to have a logo here, and the search form will be on the right side, and then we'll just have the login and register links. So I'm going to start by copying this, and then we'll customize it. And this is quite a bit of code, and that's really due to the drop downs. So in our index.html file, I am just going to paste that in. And don't worry about this red here. This is just sometimes NetBeans. Oh, never mind. But sometimes we will have errors that aren't really errors. It's just things that NetBeans doesn't like. So let's take a look at this code. So we first have a nav tag, which is one of the new HTML5 tags. And we have a class of navbar, which you always need. And then we have a class of navbar default. Alright, so that's for the standard light navigation. So let's save this and take a look at it. So it spans across our entire browser, which is what we want. If we click on drop-downs, since we've linked the bootstrap.js JavaScript file, we can have drop-downs. And one of the things that's really cool about this is if we're on a smaller screen size, you can see it disappears and we get this little box here. If we click on that, we get a nice drop-down of all of our main nav items. And I'm actually going to take the form out. I don't like how that looks, but we'll do that in a little bit. So let's replace this brand with our logo. So I'm actually going to grab all the images. We first need a folder for our images. And I'm just going to grab the images out of the main project. I'm just going to grab them all. And you should have these in your program files. Alright, so let's go back. And you can see the brand is this line here. So let's make the logo link to index.html. And we're going to get rid of this brand text, and we're going to have our image. So we want image src. And this is going to be in the images folder, and I believe it's called logo.png. We'll say alt we'll just say clean and clear because that's the name of the template. Alright, so let's save that. And you can see I've made the logo really small so it can fit in here. I know a lot of logos wouldn't fit in here, so you could either make this height bigger or maybe put the logo below it or in the middle or somewhere else. So let's see. I want this form on this side. That's pretty easy. If we go scroll down, you can see the form. We just want to grab the form. I'm going to cut it out. And I'm going to put it right under this because this is, you can see the class of navbar right, so it pushes everything to the right. Up here, well, I guess we don't have a navbar left, but it's just the default is on the left. So let's put that there. Reload, and our form's moved over. And we can also, if we wanted to, we can make the navbar a dark color, and to do that we would just need to change this navbar default to navbar inverse. So if we go back, now it's a dark color. And I might make a dark version of this template as well, but we're going to keep it light for now. So let's add some of our menu items. If we open up the final project, we want home, about, innovate, blog, contact us. So if we find those links, so this here is the right side. I want to get rid of the drop down. So I'm going to get rid of from here to here. And we're going to have a login link. Okay, let's see. So up here is our main links. I believe this is the first one, which is going to be home. And next we'll have about. I'm just going to copy this. In the drop down, you can see from here to here is the drop down code. Alright, so we want to throw in this drop down toggle, data toggle drop down. This makes it so when we resize it, we have that little pop down, that little drop down. Here we have a bold tag with the class of caret, and that gives us this arrow right here. And that's about it, really. So we're going to make this innovate and change these here to learn, create, teach. Okay, so next, we don't want these separated links or the divider. So you can see it's really about, you can copy and paste the Bootstrap code and just tweak it to your liking. Very easy. So now we need a couple more links after the drop down, which will be blog and contact. Alright, so save that, go back. Now we have all our links. You can see the login and registered, they're not styled yet. We're going to make it look like this. But other than that, the navbar is complete. Or actually, we forgot the line at the top. If you look at the template, we have this red bar at the top, so we got to do that. And that's really easy to do. All we're going to do is right above the nav tag here, we're just going to create a div, and we're going to give it a class of top bar. And this isn't part of Bootstrap, this is just a div that I'm adding. So I have to add the CSS in my custom CSS file, which I didn't create, so I'm going to create that. Okay, so I'll get rid of this. And we want top bar. And this is basically just going to be a red line or a red border. So let's give it a height of 5 pixels. And we're going to give it a background. And this is going to be a hexadecimal background of CA2129. And we're going to give it a margin on the bottom of just 1 pixel, which will just create a little bit of separation. So let's save that. Alright, so now we have our red line, red bar. So that's really it for the navigation bar. Next we'll start on this big Jumbotron showcase area, and then we'll move along.